Hello, hello. Welcome to Heart to Heart. How are you tonight, Dragonrider?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So, the last time we saw each other, I was on vacation casting for a battleground tournament under the
Yes.
palm trees.
Yes, you were on vacation and it was my
It
birthday and we were
exactly.
casting Battleground.
And it ended up being way longer than expected.
Yes. Yeah, it was. It was a bit
Yeah.
longer than we anticipated, but
Yes. Um but yes, it was super fun. It was
it
a
was.
pleasure co-hosting with you, co-casting. And yeah, I'm very excited for you to be here tonight.
Yeah, me as well. These are always great. So I'm very honored to be a part of it.
Good. So we're gonna start with simple Hearthstone question. So
Okay.
the first question that I usually ask is, when did you start playing Hearthstone?
Yeah, I
Pretty easy,
started
that
playing.
one.
Yeah. And it's, I guess, like a long and short answer, which the short answer is since beta. So a long time for the long answer. A very long time. Yeah. Since beta, which I think I joined like a couple of months before it officially launched. So yeah, I started playing back in January of 2014.
Wow, a long time ago.
Yes.
So, since you started in beta, how did you get access to the beta?
Well, I grew up playing both Blizzard games and card games. So, I was already playing a lot of Blizzard games and stuff. So I ended up actually getting an email around that time, basically like advertising for Hearthstone. And it was like, okay, wait. It was like Blizzard. I played WoW for a while. Like I grew up, I played a lot of StarCraft and I played some of the Warcraft games like Warcraft 2 Tides of Darkness and grew up playing the Pokemon TCG and Magic, and then it was like, okay, wait, you're telling me that Blizzard has a card game, like the two things that like I've grown up doing and loving. So I was like, yes, please. Like whatever's in this email, just like get me in. Yes, like let me play. And yeah, I was basically hooked ever since.
Nice, nice. I mean, yeah, it's for everyone that doesn't know, like in beta, not everyone has access to the game, so you need to have like a key or an access code to access it. So everyone that did get access during beta were loyal people of Blizzard or competitive players of other games. So yeah,
Mhm.
so it was definitely a good thing you got one, and you could get on the bandwagon right away.
Yes, yeah. Doesn't mean that I was necessarily like great right away, but I was in there playing.
Yeah, I started the year after, so
Yeah,
a year
still a long
after.
time.
Yeah, still a long time. um, yeah, so since the beginning, you've been playing. Do you have a favorite expansion?
Ooh, that's okay. I always get asked if like I have a favorite deck or a favorite class. I don't know if I've ever really gotten asked about my favorite
Ooh.
expansion. Okay. Oh man, I really liked Goblins vs Gnomes. Like just the mech stuff was super fun. And I really liked Mean Streets of Gadgetzan as well, because I thought like the kind of combo cards, like or not combo cards, but we had the cards that you could play in three different classes, and that was still back when we only had nine classes. Real old school here, nine classes, not 11. Um, but yeah, that was really fun because I think that was the first time that they really did something like so different with being able to play cards across different classes. And that was something that like in Magic for example, or even Pokemon. Like you could build your decks with like the different colors, the different combinations. But for Hearthstone, it was so kind of solidified as you can only play neutral and specific class cards that was very exciting for me that first time. So that was one of my favorites.
Definitely, I can see that. I can see why you like that one. But know that most people say Ungoro.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of good expansions, so
So you've been quite original with your answer, I guess.
yeah.
So you've been playing video games forever. You've been playing Hearthstone since the beginning. So the streaming aspect of things, when did that came into the mix?
So I did originally start streaming, I don't know, probably like a year or two into Hearthstone. Um, and then I streamed for a little while, but then like I don't know, just the point I was at in my life and where I was with card games and things in general, it just like it started to feel like a chore to stream and try to balance like work and all that other stuff. So I ended up stopping for a little while, for like maybe a year, 6 months to a year, and then I picked that back up, and I've been streaming consistently now for almost 5 years.
But now this is your full-time job.
Yeah. Yeah. Content's what I do full time right now. It's definitely felt a lot more difficult in terms of actually trying to make like full-time money and stuff off of it, but it's been really fun. I've been doing it now for 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about being a woman in gaming and streaming? I mean, in gaming before it must have been very hard in your beginning, and now it's definitely better than it used to be. So
Oh,
I would love to pick your brain on that.
yeah, it's something that's it's interesting. Like sometimes I don't even think about it. I'm just like, yeah, I'm playing games. Like this is just what I do. Like this is what I've always done. Right? Like it's just who I am. And then there's times, especially when things like it's happening in Blizzard, or when we hear those really awful stories surfacing. Then it kind of hits harder at those times. Like, oh, great. Now there's the stuff going on. Um, and I think even just in Hearthstone, particularly, yeah, in the last even like 5 years, I really do think that the scene and like representation for women and just having other women, like yourself to be like, hey, there's more of us doing this. Like, it has grown so much in the last several years that like that has been incredible. Supergirl and the Badass Woman of Hearthstone, like honestly, over the last 3 years, those have been very significant, I think, as well for me. Also, kind of feeling like I'm finding a place. And there are some struggles. I was actually talking about it on stream earlier today. That like sometimes I feel like I have to be careful of what I say. I'll give the example. Like today, we were talking about concoction rogue, and somebody's like, "Well, what if you call it like cock rogue?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, I don't think I really want to be saying that because people are gonna clip that and take it out of context, and it's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, maybe some of the big male streamers can do that and it's funny and it's a joke. But if I say it, people are gonna take that as an invite to, be inappropriate. And it's like, that sucks to have to be so conscious of that sometimes. So it's something that's always there, but I try not to think about that stuff as much. It's like, hey, I'm just gonna play. I'm gonna talk about the games because that's what I love doing.
That's good. Yeah, no, it's definitely the climate is definitely changing, but there's still a lot of still a lot of things to um,
Yeah,
go better
yeah.
that we can do. Um, okay, and so being a girl streamer. So did you ever feel? Do you have any stories or anecdote related to being a girl on Twitch, a woman?
Um, I mean, yeah, I think we've all had examples of that. Like I said, though, it's gotten a lot better for sure. Um, but yeah, I don't know. There's something that like I've dealt with even outside of gaming. So every once in a while when it happens, you'll have people like I've had people come in the stream and you know try to make some comment about, oh, I've seen you on some porn site or something. It's like, okay, first of all, no, I don't do that. But like, why would you even come in here and say that? Like, whatever, just just ban, move on, and like I said, kind of just like just get back to the games and stuff
I've
that's
never
what I'm
got
here
that
for.
one yet.
Yeah. It's like I don't know. I just people are very desperate for attention and it's kind of sad, but ultimately I think that's what it is that people are just they just want the attention, whether it's good or bad or whatever. They just they're just looking for attention. So I just don't want to give it to them in those cases.
Okay. Have you ever felt unsafe?
Um Personally, not really, but I also will say I think a huge part of that is also that I'm married. So like the couple of events that I've gone to, my husband is always there with me, and so he's there to help. And like I don't know, I'm just kind of an introvert sometimes. Sometimes I can be kind of awkward and shy. So at events too, I kind of just stay away from people, so I don't really get in situations that I feel unsafe. But yeah, usually not. Usually I feel pretty safe.
When you think about it, it's crazy that we need to be in a relationship to feel safe, because
Yeah.
anyways, I understand fully what you're saying, but it's like when you compare everything, it's just like crazy. um, okay, so you're pretty open about your personal life. So you mentioned you have an husband. So when did you take the decision to be that open with the outside world?
Um, I mean, I would say there's still like I still don't share everything, but I've always just been kind of a very open person in general. So I feel like I share things that are important to me. So like I feel like it's important to me, like my marriage and my relationship. So I share that. And again, kind of going back to something that was mentioned earlier, it's like I don't ever want to like I don't know. I don't like putting myself in situations where I feel like I'm trying to purposely like lead people on like, oh, I'm gonna get more viewers if I'm single or anything like that, because that's just not like it just doesn't matter to me. Like I would rather have less viewers and be happy with the viewers that I have, and be comfortable with my relationship. So I'm that's just kind of how I've always been. I think some of the stuff is a little bit harder to share in terms of uh, maybe like mental aspects, like mental struggles, or even physical struggles. Like I guess more recently, I've kind of been sharing things like issues with rheumatoid arthritis, ADHD, that kind of stuff, which I didn't really share before, and I've kind of more recently been opening up about that. But I think sometimes it's just important to let people know that like hey, sometimes my body literally will just be attacking itself and I have to take a day and rest. So hey, I wasn't able to get to everything that I wanted to, or I wasn't able to reply to everyone's messages because like I had zero energy and I was just sprawled out on the couch because everything hurt and was stiff. And it's something that I just it's not really like a sharing to be open necessarily, but more of a I feel like I want to share it so that people kind of understand where I'm coming from.
For sure, for sure. No, it's always difficult to know what to share, what not to share.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that for some people it's more personal, and they just don't want to share too many things personal.
Yeah, yeah,
we
and,
we
and that's definitely understandable.
we saw a couple of crazy stories.
Yeah.
So yeah. I am definitely a little bit careful with my personal life. Yes. So I wanted to ask, how long have you been with your husband?
We celebrated, was this 11 and a half years now. We've been married. So we've been together for a little more than 12 and a half years.
That is amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Close to 13 it's been. So
Wow.
yeah.
So in French, there's a saying that loves lasts 3 years. What would you say to that saying?
Uh, I mean, I don't know. I've never heard that before.
L'amour dure 3 ans. C'est comme ça qu'on. That's how we say it.
I will say I'm glad that it has lasted longer than 3 years.
No, but I'm pretty sure in your relationship there's a lot more thing than just love. There's like project that you do together. There's goals. Like, I mean, love is
Yeah.
is one part. There's lots of different other other part in the mix that makes a great relationship work.
Yeah.
Good. And so you live in the United States, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, good. Do you share exactly where you are on the map, like east, west?
Usually I just share mountain region. Is like
Okay.
kind of in the center.
You see
So
that's
yeah,
one part that people keep personal versus not.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, like address and stuff, like especially because I don't live in a very large area. So, yeah, that's another thing that's like I don't typically share much information about that just because, I am trying to keep myself and, my husband and all that safe from people who would want to try to do something terrifying with information like that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, I think it's a great decision to keep some things personal. Okay, so you mentioned your husband, and I always ask question about like support, and like I mean, you kind of answer it with your husband, but becoming a streamer is really important to have the support of like a significant other, your family, friends. So I know your husband is very supportive, but any other members of your family or other people that were supportive in that decision for you to pursue that career?
Uh, I mean, definitely he is the most supportive. Say like my mom's very supportive as well. Me and my family have had a lot of rockiness, and basically I'm not connected with any family outside of my mom. So she has been very supportive in that aspect. And I guess in a way, like she's even shared things like she's a little envious that I am trying to pursue something that I'm very passionate about. So I guess like seeing from that other end, like where she feels like she can't necessarily do that, and she's getting to see me do it, but she's happy, right? Because she's my mom, and she loves seeing her child, going out there and trying to chase what she loves. So I definitely have that, and then my father-in-law uh, is really the only other family that again we're connected with, and yeah, he's super supportive too. But we play a lot of board games and stuff with him as well. So he'll come over on the weekends and stuff for board games, and he'll ask like how casting went or what things I have coming up, and to be able to have just even that like recognition of just hey, that's what she's doing, I think is fantastic. So not everyone is understanding, think when I was working, because like I said, I wasn't doing this full time the whole time I've been doing content. I was working and some stuff, and even like going to the doctors or something, doctor'd be like, "Well, what do you do?" "Well, have you heard of this thing called Twitch?" And a lot of people, "You make money from that?" Or, "Oh, you just get to play games." And it's like, well, it's a lot more than just just sitting there playing games for one thing. Um, so, it's great to have the close people in my life be supportive. And then through the streaming and just like a Hearthstone community in general, I have found a lot of kind of friends online, and they have been extremely supportive. So that's where we're at with the the support.
100%. I mean, same for me. Found so many great people on Twitch. The Hearthstone community is just amazing. I totally understand. So you mentioned playing board games. So what is your favorite board game?
Okay, my
Or you can
favorite
do
board.
a top three. A top three.
Yes. So yeah, we play a ton of board games. The entire like Clank series, because there's multiple ones. They have like expansions and different stuff. Now the newest Clank just came out, Clank Catacombs. So we've been playing a ton of that. Like uh there's a Clank Legacy. Anybody that may not know, for like board games, legacy versions of board games have been coming out the last couple of years. And basically, what that means is it kind of has a one-time playthrough, but it's like a whole story over multiple playthroughs. So it's kind of broken down, and you get to do stuff to the game or to the board or to pieces. Like sometimes it might even ask you to like rip up cards. Like you're never gonna use that card again. Literally, like rip it in half and throw it away. Or put stickers on the board that you don't remove that become part of the game going forward. So like the legacy style games have been absolutely amazing, and there is a Clank Legacy, so like that probably has to be my absolute favorite board game. But there's a ton that we've been really enjoying, and now of course I'm not thinking of any. It's like Zombicide, I guess, is one that we've played recently. Mansions of Madness. Like there's just so many that are so much fun.
None that I know.
Yeah. there's some really good ones.
Do you play Catan?
I think we have that. We haven't really played it.
That's great.
Not much. Yeah. The ones we play tend to be like, multiple hours for like one playthrough. Like just one game will take 3 to 4 hours.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my family would not be able to. Like, we play Monopoly and we're never able to finish a game. Or Scrabble. Okay. Well, that's very interesting. I didn't know about that legacy part of video games, so that's very interesting to know that. So they're doing this to different games.
Well, it's one board game, and it's like scenarios. So let's see if I can think of the one that maybe people know, which is let me see, I'm just gonna search it real quick. Well,
Okay. And
okay, Pandemic.
Pandemic. Yes.
Yeah. So there's a couple different versions of that, but there are some like that's kind of like the closest. There is a Pandemic Legacy version where instead of just playing the base game, and then you just play that same like scenario over and over as the base game. The legacy version would take you through like 12 months. So each game would be like a different month of the year. And it things change and happen depending on what you do in the game.
That seems fantastic. I mean, I wish I had a
They're so
group
much
of
fun.
people that would like to play that with me for
Yeah.
12 games. I am a big fan of board games, so. But I am more of a Catan, Seven Wonders, Ticket to Ride. Um,
Good. So good.
and Golem, Century Golem. I like that. Century.
If I've played that one, I have to check that out.
Century Golem Edition.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
don't
good
know that one.
I really like that one. And it's easy to, if you have people that are not that into board games, it's easy to explain. With gems. A little bit like Hearthstone.
Oh my god. I love it.
So yes, okay. So I think you have pets, right?
Yes. Quite a few. Quite
Okay.
a few. Yeah, we've got 5 dogs and 2 cats.
5
So,
dogs.
Yeah, very full house.
Are they rescue dogs?
No. What? Well,
How did you end up with 5 dogs?
I collect them.
Okay.
I love them. So I actually never like our first dog. I never had dogs growing up. My dad didn't like them, didn't want them, whatever. I don't really know. So we had cats growing up. So I always wanted cats. So we got the couple of cats. One of them we did get from a pet store when they actually had those. Like, I don't know, they've started getting rid of those, at least in my area. And then one of them was like somebody up on the mountain, like their cat had a litter or something. So my husband surprised me and brought me one of them. And then, I mean, pretty much the dogs, it was all just things that we saw, like people advertising. A couple of them were like for sale, and then other ones were just like pretty much, hey, our family dog had a litter of puppies and we're giving them away. So like, if you message and you're looking for one, like meet me at the Walmart parking lot and we'll, here you can have the puppy. So that's kind of how we ended up with them.
Okay, so what are their race?
Their breeds are
Breed, sorry.
Yeah. So we have, and I'll tell you the names too, because they're all kind of gaming related.
Okay.
Or at least mostly. The first cat we got is an orange. This is so weird. Like with cats, you kind of just say their color. And then the dogs are like specific breeds. So the cat, yeah, he's an orange tabby. His name is Mr. Wiggles, or we call him Murph because for the first several years of his life, that's how he meowed. He would just like look at us and he'd go, Murph, Murph. And it was like, okay. It wasn't really a meow. Then we have Ghost, a white and black cat, gray in there. And then our dogs, we have a black lab named Reaper, which she was named before Overwatch. She was actually named off of one of the units in StarCraft that was a Reaper. And then they revealed Overwatch, and there was, of course, the character Reaper. So we're like, hey, two Blizzard games, it fits. And then we have 2 sisters from the same litter. They're like, I don't even know exactly what they are. They're some mixed breeds. Lab mixed with like maybe Australian Shepherds, I think. It's kind of what we've determined. And they are Hunter and Tuxedo. Because one of them is black, which is like a white chest. So it looks like she's wearing a tux. Then we have Rainer. It's also from StarCraft. And he is a little like pit terrier mix. And then we have Kerrigan. And she is laying right next to me. She is a chocolate lab with the energy of, I don't even know, like 1,000 children, I think, because she is so hyper. But yeah, so lots of like StarCraft related names.
Yeah. Does your husband play video games too?
Oh yeah, yeah. We play a ton of games. So over the years, I mean, yeah, that's like I think I even posted a couple years ago on our anniversary back on my Twitter. Like we spent our anniversary playing Diablo game together. I think it was like Diablo 3. We just like spent our entire anniversary all day playing Diablo together. We've played World of Warcraft together. Like we've played a ton of that stuff. Lots of co-op games and puzzle games, and watching each other play Zelda and the new Pokemon game, and yeah.
Wow.
Haven't gotten
Lots
him
of
into
games.
Hearthstone though.
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
After
I
all these
tried.
years.
I know. I tried, and he played for a little bit, but he was like, "I hate all this RNG, and I'm not playing this." So it's okay though, because he's also like very competitive and strong-headed. So when we play games, if he's winning, like he's like let you know that he's winning. So at least I can say that I am much better at him than like at Hearthstone.
Okay. Okay.
I'll take it.
Okay, good. So, so also we're talking about video games. You're passionate for it, and if we go back to Hearthstone, Lowell, do you have a favorite artwork or top 3 favorite artwork in the game?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's got to be some of the cute stuff. And all right, can I show something? It's on my arm, so it's not like. All right, I'll try to stand up here as well.
Oh, you have tattoos.
I do. Yes. So let me.
Yeah. It's a murloc.
It is. That is Dire Muck Tiny Fin. Is the little 1/1 that pops out of the 1 or the 2/1 Murloc with the death rattle. Yeah.
But it's Tiny Fin on it.
Yes. Yeah. That has to be my favorite arts. I literally got it tattooed. Because he is adorable. I mean, he's got a little pot belly and he's eating a fish and he's adorable.
Definitely. He is so adorable. I mean, that is a strong commitment to the art. Do you have other tattoos than this other one? This one?
Yeah, I've got other tattoos as well. I can show you if you want.
Yeah, for sure.
Some of it actually is a little bit related to Hearthstone. And I can explain, like, kind of we talked about, like, I guess me growing up playing card games. I also do have one on my thigh. I have a big one on my thigh of Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon. And he is chewing on the Triforce pieces from Zelda, breaking those apart. So that one I'm probably not going to show. But yeah, I love like the nerdy crossover.
Oh wow, it's very colorful.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
So, Ninetales has always been my favorite Pokemon, even since I was a kid. So I got the Ninetales with all of the different tails a different color, and they represent and kind of correspond to the different, like we have the different magic symbols. We've got the Hearthstone logo and the legend symbol.
Yes.
And then just a D20 and a Master Ball to represent those, and kind of my childhood and growing up playing those. And then Galaxy Luna from Sailor Moon.
Ah, well, that's not a video game though.
No, but
but it's an anime.
I like, yeah, but like you got the nerdy, colorful crossover tattoos.
Yeah, well, it shows that you put a lot of thought into it. Like it wasn't like something you took out of the blue. Like clearly there was a lot of reflection on making these.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the art tattoo person must have been like, okay.
Uh, yeah, actually, the lady who did these is a huge nerd, like weekly D&D campaigns and all that stuff too. So, when I reached out and started like talking to her about my original ideas, she was like, "Yes, love it, like let's go." So fantastic.
And when did you get it, your tattoo?
Oh gosh, let's see. The Nine Tails stuff, we actually went and we started that in April of last year, so April of 2021 for our 10-year wedding anniversary. That's what we did. We went and got tattoos, worked on tattoos together. And then it was pretty much like April and May, I think she worked on that. And then like June, I think I got the the Galaxy Luna. And then like a couple months later, I got we went and we got like a couple's tattoo. Anyone that may have noticed, the Murloc is in the orange portal from the Portal games. My husband and I have played through those a ton. We love those games. So he has the blue portal with like basically the Pip-Boy from Fallout. And then I have the Murloc in the orange one. So we got those like a couple months after that, I guess, because it actually ended up being cheaper to get the other tattoos than what we had anticipated. So, we spent the rest of our like 10-year anniversary money to get more.
That is so sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, with matching tattoos, you guys are adorable.
Yeah. We've heard that a few times.
I don't think I've seen pictures though of your husband.
No, he hates pictures of himself, so I don't get to share those very often. So they're very rare.
Okay. So if I go if I try and find some, will I be able to find some?
There's probably a couple posted. Yeah, I think, like I said, probably April of like 19. I don't know, somewhere in there. Like I think I posted for our anniversary, and then let's see, he let me post some pictures from us together at DreamHack. So probably February of 2020.
Right before the pandemic.
Yes. Yeah.
On the verge.
Anaheim, like, yeah, right before everything shut down. We had no idea too. It's like we went to that event and then like the next week or something, like everything just hit. It was like, oh wow, okay. So it's like, well, I'm glad that we were able to go to that event before everything shut down, especially looking back now, realizing like how long things stayed shut down. I'm glad that we did get to at least go to that. But speaking of that, I've been really itching to go to events again.
Understandable. But we haven't seen you at TwitchCon.
No, yeah, I haven't gone to TwitchCon. It's still kind of something that like I've been debating about, but if we're only able to do like one or two, conventions a year, that's probably not going to be one of them, because we're probably going to go to, conventions that have a lot of like board game stuff. We're looking at like Gen Con, if you've heard of that, and it's a big convention that happens every year in the United States. It's like got a ton of board games. They do like an auction day to sell stuff off. Like there's a whole bunch of that. So we hope to go to that. I want to go to like one of the big, probably like international Comic Cons, or like one of the ones in like San Diego or New York or something. Just for that. So,
well, TwitchCon was in San Diego.
Yeah, I know, and I did want to go. Unfortunately, it just couldn't happen this time around. So hopefully in the future, it's something that we can do.
Of course, I wish BlizzCon would be back.
Yes, me too.
That would be my main one if that would come back. But in the meantime, I will do TwitchCon.
Yeah.
Good. Well, you seem pretty connected with the convention, so I will probably hit you up to learn a little bit about other ones.
Yeah. Yes, I'm hoping to go to more. But once things start opening up and become a little more safe again, and also it's kind of costly to go travel to events and stuff. So
For sure.
hoping to bring some of that in, or I do have a goal for 2023 to actually have to kind of like tie this back to streaming and content. I do have a goal to be able to actually go to at least one event or convention that I have been invited to as like a creator or caster or something, so that I'm not just straight like paying everything out of pocket for those events and just going because I want to. So
That is a great goal and it's very achievable. I'm pretty sure in casting that will happen.
I hope so.
Well, I'm sending all my thoughts with you so you can do it for 2023.
Thank you.
But you don't even need it because it will happen.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, well that's very exciting. Well, you got my next question about your goals for 2023.
Don't worry, I have more. I always have more. So if you want to still ask.
Do you do you have other goals for 2023? Goals, dreams?
I do. So one of my big goals, which I would love to make it happen like as fast as possible. But a couple of I guess months ago now, because we're about to hit like I don't know episode 8 or something. My wonderful friend and teammate Itachi and I started up a weekly podcast and show called the TCCG Roundtable. The idea kind of came to me originally. It was going to be like the same 5 or 6 people every week or something, like 5 or 6 people on one show, as like a roundtable, just talking about all different card games. But ultimately, it's like that was just going to be way too much trying to like, find a time that works for like 6 people every time. So it's Itachi, myself, and we get guests from various card games. And we share news and tournaments and like competitive play, and then we have a topic each week. So, in one episode we might talk about 6 different card games, or whether it's physical, digital, doesn't matter. Like we try to talk about as many of the card games as possible. And when I was first coming up with that idea and like putting it together, and in that planning stage, I actually had like I don't know if it was like a daydream or like a vision. But I had this like vision, and I saw it so clearly of being at like a physical location, like in a studio, kind of like you see like, all of those like talk shows on TV that, they have the host and they've got chairs and a nice little couch and like all that stuff set up. And I saw it. I saw like the whole stage with like chairs and a little couch, and, me standing there in like some awesome outfits. With like the mic on, and I was holding like note cards, and I saw like the camera just like panned over as I was starting the intro for the show. So like my vision, my goal is to actually have a studio where I can do that, and then hopefully even start to like get guests to come and be in the studio physically.
Yeah, for sure. Like the in-person chemistry exchange is so much better than on voice cam, which is the best we can do right now. Exactly. Because to travel everywhere in the world is definitely very costly.
Yeah, for sure.
But yes, that is definitely a very good idea. I hope it's gonna happen for you.
Thank you.
Did you have another one?
I mean, for anybody who either knows me or maybe you don't, I'm like a very motivated, driven person. So I feel like I'm always creating goals. I'm always creating like the next thing for myself. So the other goal that I have for next year is to actually like cast something that's not Hearthstone. I recently put out my like 2022 Hearthstone casting reel. It's like a little 2-minute casting reel. But like looking back, I casted 3 different game modes in Hearthstone this year. Early on in the year, I casted a mercenaries tournament, and then I have casted a ton of standard, and then you and I got to cast, and the first week was with Rain. Then we got to cast battlegrounds. It's like I casted 3 different modes within Hearthstone this year. But as I've been growing and expanding to try to do more content involved in just card games in general, like that's my next goal is to actually cast a game beyond Hearthstone.
Okay, good. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the food part of the interview, which is the scariest part of the interview.
How can food be scary? I like food.
I think everyone say that.
All right.
Until okay, so I'm gonna tell you. Usually, I give you 2 choices. You pick one or the other, but you can also pick both and give an explanation. Like it's not like a mad quiz. So wine or beer?
You know what? I think I would say beer.
Okay.
I do like wine, so it's not that I don't, but I usually just prefer beer because I think it's like a lot of different beers, and it feels like they have a lot of seasonal type of beers too. So I feel like I'm always getting to try different stuff. I especially love the fall beers. Like there's in the fall, there's also I don't know if anybody's had it. There's a pretzel shock top, so good.
A what?
My favorite. It's a pretzel flavored beer.
Like a pretzel.
So yeah.
Like a salted pretzel.
Yes, it's so good. I don't know. It might be like a terrible beer, but I don't know. I like it. I think it's great.
Okay, no, that's interesting. I've never had a pretzel beer before, but I will put that on my list, my grocery shopping list. I will give you a full review.
Yeah.
Okay, tea or coffee?
Oh, coffee.
Coffee?
And I don't know if I can show this. My mug. This thing's gigantic. I love coffee. I probably drink way too much of it. I will say that. Yes, I love coffee.
Okay, good. How do you take your coffee?
Okay. So that's an interesting. I would say most of the time, yeah, I have different answers depending on my mood and the time of year. Usually, I just drink black. I just drink it black. During, again, fall. I love fall. But during the fall and start of winter, they have pumpkin spice flavor coffee creamer and peppermint mocha. So I do a lot of those in the fall and early winter because I love those. Then I kind of go back to black coffee. And I do also enjoy a lot of mochas. Sometimes I'll do chai or chai lattes. I'll do caramel macchiatos and all of those things. I like a lot of those. So I'm not really picky when it comes to those. I'm just make it sweet. Just give me something. But it's, I will drink it straight black too. So it's not necessarily about hiding the coffee taste.
Okay, good. Good. Yeah, so you must be a barista to have all of these things at your house, the caramel macchiato stuff.
Well, yeah, sometimes I go out and get them from a coffee shop and stuff. Usually the fancier, more ingredient ones, I'll do that. But I actually was for a little while God, it had to have been a decade ago, I think. Probably 10 years ago. I did work as a barista for a little while, but let me tell you, when you work there and they give you some of that for free, because I could go and work there and get a drink 30 minutes before my shift for free. I could get something on my break for free. And then like right after I left, I could get something for free on the days that I worked. It was very bad. It was very bad. I gained quite a bit of weight in a short amount of time from all of the sugar and all the stuff in those. So, warning.
Okay. Okay, good. Good warning. Good warning. Are you more a vegetable or a fruit person?
Ooh. I like them both. I guess it depends. A couple of years ago, I probably would have said fruit, but I think now I'm more vegetable. Because I think I feel like there's a bigger variety of vegetables that I enjoy. The fruits, it's like usually berries, and then like maybe occasionally something else, but yeah.
Okay, top 3 vegetables you like.
Bell peppers. I love bell peppers. And sweet potatoes. What's the third one? Let's see. Probably spinach or tomato. Tomato. No, we gotta go tomato.
Okay, good.
I talked myself into it.
Okay, and top 3 fruits, we would have berries and... Okay, we can rate the berries. Which berries you like the most?
Okay, I think it's got to be blueberries at the top. All right. Chat's saying tomato is a fruit. Okay, we're getting into this.
No, but not in my interview. It's a tomato. The tomato, it's a vegetable. The chat is trying to steer you up.
We'll just put tomato at the top of both. Like my favorite fruit is tomato. My favorite vegetable is tomato. Probably I love blueberries. I think the most, and then second would be raspberries, and probably the third one would be cranberries.
Cranberries, like raw cranberries.
Well, no, I like kind of boil them in some water with a little bit of sugar and make like, it's not like whole cranberry, but it's not complete like.
So it's like the thing you put with the turkey at Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Well, I usually only have it a couple of times a year, usually in like the fall and winter, but I love them a lot. My husband hates cranberries, so I get them all to myself.
Good. Okay, so do you like cheese?
Yes.
Top 3 cheese.
Okay. Top 3 cheese. Let's do pepper jack is probably my favorite. Then extra sharp cheddar, and then Swiss.
Good. Chat is saying 3 isn't enough. I know
it's true.
Top 3.
We have an entire drawer in our fridge it's just our cheese drawer. It's dedicated to only cheeses. That's it. The whole drawer is full of cheese.
I do have the same. My advent calendar is a cheese advent calendar.
Perfect.
I know. I'm very excited for it. Do you like dessert? Do you have a sweet tooth?
Oh, yes. It's terrible. I've been trying to eat better and cut out sweets because I eat a lot of them. Sometimes I'm like, I'll eat them and I'm like, why am I even eating this? Like, I don't even want sweets, but it's there. And I'm like, this is delicious. So top 3 desserts. Probably, okay. Top 3 would be like a hot fudge brownie with vanilla ice cream on top.
Okay.
Second would be like hot apple pie with vanilla ice cream on top. third, everything else.
So you like
No,
chocolate?
I do. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, and you like hot dessert.
Usually, yeah. Yeah. Like you have to have it hot and then like the cold ice cream on top, and then you get the like ice cream that's kind of melting some and it's perfect.
Do you ever put cheddar on your apple pie?
No, ew, what? No.
It's a thing. It's a thing. A lot of people do that. A lot of people.
I have heard of that, but no. I will eat my cheese and then I'll go eat my pie with ice cream.
Understandable. So are you a chef?
No.
So is it you or your husband that cooks?
Okay, well, I mean, I cook. I do some cooking. I definitely am not a chef. The easier to make, the better. The more simple it is, throw it in the crock pot or throw it in the skillet. And I'm your girl. I'm there. Throw it in the oven out of the freezer. I can do that. Um, I've been trying to do more cooking, but like I don't feel like I'm all that great at it. But no, actually, he did some cooking and stuff in the military. So he was actually a chef in there, and he was at the top of his class in cook school. He likes to remind me of that, but he's an incredible cook actually. So I think more often, just because of his work schedule and stuff and his long hours, I do cook more. But he's much better at it than I am.
So if you would do like a romantic dinner to impress your husband, what would you make him?
Okay. You know what? I'm going to say, honestly, like, probably what I am actually making tonight, which is bacon and mushroom Swiss burgers. Because that's just like, he loves that kind of stuff. Like, he loves those kind of foods. So if I were trying to impress him, like, I would definitely like make something like that I know he likes. I don't know. Not very good at like the fancy type stuff. We're not fancy, and half the time, if I were to eat something fancy, I think I would wear more of it than I would probably get to eat. So, too fancy, we can't do. It's it's off the menu.
You would wear it, meaning you would like spill it on you?
Yes, because I'm a messy eater.
Okay.
I spilled my coffee on myself like half of the time that I'm streaming and drinking coffee. I swear, it's terrible.
And do you have sides with the burger tonight?
Maybe
French fries?
probably French fries. Maybe some
I
sort
love
of
French
vegetable.
fries.
Me too. Me too.
Well, French fries is a potato, so
Yes, it's a vegetable, right?
Yes.
It's a vegetable. Or is that a fruit, chat? Is that a fruit? I don't know. We love chat. We love chat.
Okay. Um, do you like spicy food?
Yeah, I do. I do like spicy food. I am not really supposed to eat spicy food because, years and years ago, the doctors told me I have GERD, which is like the really bad version of acid reflux, basically. So like, they're like, yeah, so don't eat anything fried, don't have spicy food, don't drink coffee. I'm like, okay, yeah. So I like spicy food. I don't eat a lot of it. And my husband does not, so we don't eat a lot of spicy stuff.
Okay. Okay. Okay, two more questions, and then we're gonna dive into the chat questions.
Okay.
So, do you have any allergy to food?
Not to food. Don't have any food allergies, not that I know of.
Are you
But my
allergic to
husband,
something else? Are you?
yeah, yeah. The worst one is benzoyl peroxide, which, if anyone is familiar with that, it's one of the like main ingredients that a lot of like acne medicines and stuff use. Yeah. So I didn't know that I was allergic to that, and then used a face wash one day. The next day, I could barely open my eyes because my eyes were so swollen, and I didn't even put that stuff on my eyes. And then even hours later, my eye, like I was like, "This is fine. The swelling's gone down." I covered my face up with makeup, right? And I was like, "Nobody will notice. It's fine." And I went to work, and like the first thing that the lady that worked in the office with me, she just looked at me and she goes, "Oh my God, what's wrong with your eyes?" I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, um, I guess it's noticeable." So when I told the doctor that, they're like, "Yeah, we call that a severe allergy." So I guess I'm severely allergic to that. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that's intense. Let's not
yeah.
touch that. And so your husband is allergic to something?
He has a shellfish allergy, so
Ooh, so you
we
don't eat
don't.
shellfish.
Yeah, which I don't know. I've never really been a huge seafood fan. I'll do like sometimes I do like the canned tuna, and then we do salmon, and that's about it. So we don't really do a lot of other stuff.
Okay. Um, so seafood out of the way and fish except for canned tuna and salmon.
Yep.
Okay. Good to know. Good. Um, and so you're not what do you really dislike in food?
Not
Not what?
not having food.
So you
I
like
love
you like
I love
everything in food except for shellfish.
yeah. I guess I'm not like the hugest seafood fan. But yeah, like I don't know, I love food. I love eating. I love everything. Like I really haven't found a lot of foods that I don't like, so
Okay.
yeah.
Do you even like durian? You know, like the Asian fruit that smells very bad.
I actually haven't had that.
Okay.
I don't
Well,
know.
I will
I
let
would
you
try
try
I would
it.
try it. Yeah, I would try it. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna get into a food question. Okay, it's a chat question, not a food question. You survived the food question. Do you have a favorite battleground hero?
Yes. I think my all-time favorite has to be AFK. I loved I mean, she's gotten a bit worse, but I loved playing AFK, especially like the first, 6 months to year that Battlegrounds was a thing. Here we go. We got a visitor. Thank you, Kerrigan. Um, so yeah, probably AFK. I think would have to be my favorite.
Okay, good, good. What's your favorite part of doing podcasts and content creation in general?
Honestly, I would say my favorite part is just that I get to be myself and just share, like, chatting about the games. When I first was starting content, and I think one reason why I started to feel like initially it was a chore was I tried to be somebody that I'm not. Like, I tried to be like, oh, people want to see me do this certain thing or act this certain way. And and I had to be like perfect. I couldn't like mess up, or you know, I couldn't even talk about like, oh, it took me, like 2 or 3 years of playing before I hit legend. Like, no, I had to be the like, this is it. This is what people expect. And for a long time, I kind of did that, and now I've kind of just like I don't know. I'm like, I don't I don't give a crap about that anymore. I guess would be the way to put it. It's like, I'm just gonna do my own thing and like being myself. And I mean, even during this interview, just being that like goofy, funny, ridiculous, like kind of cringy, I don't care, like that's just who I am. And then and when I'm like that, especially when I'm passionate and enjoy what I'm talking about, I think that really shows through, and so it makes people enjoy it more. So for me, like that has really been something that I have enjoyed a lot about podcasting and doing content, is when I can just kind of let myself, be like that. And, whatever, some people aren't going to like it. Some people are going to think I'm cringy and they're going to leave the stream or not want to watch my YouTube videos or whatever. Or, I'm not high enough legend. And so whatever, but just being myself and like understanding, I guess, that it's okay to be myself has been the best.
That is a very good answer. I agree 100%. It's difficult at the beginning to tell yourself that, because you don't want to you don't want to do anything that would hurt your image or your stream or any content creation. What is the last book you read?
Let me look. Hold on. I mean, some people say it's not really reading, but I've actually been doing audiobooks.
Yeah, it is reading.
I think so too. So actually, I think the last one was called, oh my gosh, and now I can't find where it is on my phone.
I love audiobook because I can walk while reading the book.
Yeah.
So when I walk, I can really like not be disturbed about anything else.
Yeah, I was doing that a lot in the summer. We lived just like a couple of miles away from a gas station. So it'd be like 20 to 25 minute walk one way. And I would listen to audiobooks, like, just walk up to the gas station, get a drink, and walk back.
I love that your end goal is a gas station while walking.
I know. That's how I I like bribe myself. Like, okay, I'm gonna walk, but I'm gonna reward myself with a coffee drink from the gas station. It's perfect. I think the last one that I actually read, I'm in the middle of another one or something, but it's actually called Radical Confidence by Lisa Bilyeu. I read a couple over this year that were like kind of really about very successful women who wrote books and talked a lot about, being yourself and how you can be successful and accomplish your goals and not put all these like limitations and like trying to think of the best wording, like to stop putting limitations on yourself because you think you have to be a certain way. So yeah, that was the last one that I read, was Radical Confidence.
Good. Do you have a favorite book?
Probably the Aragon series. I know that's a series and not like one specific book, but I read those books when I was, like the young teen, young adult, young teen. And that's actually where the Dragonrider gamer tag came from. So it's, it was very special to me.
Good. Last question. What are you watching right now? Are you watching a series or something?
Okay. All right. Here we go with the the openness and the cringy. So I apologize to everyone in advance. I don't know why the last week, 2 weeks, I guess, I have been on a really like ridiculous, cringy, terrible like Christmas romance movies binge. And I don't know why, because like not even that like we're not religious. We've celebrated Christmas and like it's a thing, but like I don't know. And like all of those movies, like they're so corny and terrible, right? And they're so predictable. yeah, Hallmark movies basically. And like, I don't know. They've been like, I guess, my guilty pleasure of just like, I don't know what to watch, because we watched all of the stuff. Like, we're caught up on, all of the like superhero stuff that's going on, on all of the um I guess we still have a couple episodes of like Andor to watch, but kind of all of those. Like, we finished the Lord of the Rings, we finished all of that stuff, all of those series that have been going on. House of the Dragon, like we watched that. So like lately, it's been those, and I think I'm already at the point I'm ready for it to just not be December, and I know tomorrow is the first day of December.
It's the best month.
Yeah, I mean, I love November, but that's also like food, and we have Thanksgiving in November, and November's my birthday, so you gotta do that. But yeah, I don't know. Lately, it's just been, I guess it's like the feel good movies. Like, even if they're corny and predictable, like they usually leave you kind of feeling good, and I think that's kind of just been something that I've been looking for lately. Just make sure that I'm like keeping my spirits up and not getting myself into some of those like really depressive episodes that I have been through in the past. So just keeping my spirits up, watching terrible, corny Christmas movies.
That's amazing. Definitely cheaper than therapy.
Yes, yeah, there you go.
Not that therapy is great. I'm just saying, like, more session of watching a movie is definitely cheaper.
Yeah, just whatever is like the free stuff on Roku. Find those like, actors you've never heard of, and you're just like, yeah, all right, let's put this on and watch it, because I just streamed in content for 10 hours, and I need to just sit on the couch and do something that like is not making me think.
I totally understand. Well, thank you so much, Dawn, for being with us tonight. I really appreciate this. We really appreciate this as a community. And I hope you're gonna have a wonderful dinner with your husband. A romantic dinner. I don't know what's planned for after, but clearly it's gonna be a romantic evening if you're doing your best tonight.
Yes, this was amazing.
Yeah,
we don't
she
need
is. You see, guys.
How to make Dragonrider turn red?
Naughty Dragonrider.
You did it. No, thank you so much for having me on, Heart Queen. This was an absolute pleasure. It was so much fun. I love the questions. Definitely unique and a very fun interview.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, thank you so much for being with us tonight. I really appreciate that. And I hope you're going to have a wonderful evening.
You as well. Thank you so much.
Bye.